Hey, what's up guys? My name's KrisLuckPhoto, and in this video I'm gonna go over a few things that I hope Canon can change in a future firmware update. If not the first firmware update, but probably not gonna be in the first one. But they're nothing major, but it's a lot of quality of life things and ease of access through the menus that I really noticed that are slowing down my workflow when I'm out in the field. And when you're sitting in a studio or something, they're not that big of a deal, but when you're out and about and you're trying to just get things done, especially with wildlife, there are just a few things that I noticed that really slowed me down. So without waiting any longer, let's get right into it. So the other day I was out and the northern lights were out and I wanted to start getting some long exposures, but with the electronic shutter, you are limited to the half a second, which is fine, not a big deal. So I tried switching over to the mechanical shutter because that's how you get up to 30-second exposures. I was limited because I needed to go to a different menu setting, turn off blackout free display to go back and then turn on mechanical shutter. And in reality, that only takes a couple seconds, but why can't you just switch to mechanical shutter and it automatically shut off the blackout free display? So I wish the camera could just recognize what your settings were in mechanical shutter and what they are in electronic shutter, so making the switch is going to be a little bit easier. So that's going to bring me to the next thing. In video mode, I shoot and log, and I use the view assist and log, so that way I'm a little more inspired when I'm shooting my videos and everything's not dull and gray. You have a little bit of contrast and saturation when you use the view assist. But Canon R5 Mark II added the false color, and what's cool about even having the false color alone is you can also set it to a quick access button. So I set it to this light button here on the top of the camera. So when I click it, I could switch to false color. However, I noticed it wasn't working, so I was like, what's going on here? So then I went to the menu system and was trying to figure out why I couldn't turn on false color. Well, it said I had to disable view assist and I had to disable manual focus peak settings because I had that on for some moon photos and whatnot. So anyway, unfortunately, you have to go through some menu settings or not use manual focus peaking and not use the view assist if you want to get false color quickly activated from the custom button, which is my light button up here. So that's another thing. Why can't you just turn on false color and then it temporarily turns off the view assist and focus peak settings? I wish that the camera was smart enough to know false color doesn't need view assist, and you know, I don't know why you can't use focus peak settings, but sure. So that's just a frustrating feature that I found, especially for videographers that are out in the field. You know, sometimes it's nice to throw on some false color, make sure everything looks good, and then switch back, but you have to stop everything, go through the menu to see the view assist. So that's number two. Hopefully Canon can fix those first two things. Okay, so I'm going on to number three, and some people are gonna be like, oh my god, here we go again. I got so much hate because I don't like that the old Canon LP6NH batteries don't let you do 24 frames per second, but I'm not the only one that's complaining. I'm happy that other people have complained to Canon that are further up on the chain than I am, and I'm pretty sure they are going to add 24 frames per second into the update, maybe even the first update that comes out. And yeah, that's just a frustrating feature because if you can get 30, there should be no reason you can't have 24. And for all you people that just said, just buy new batteries, I did. Okay, I spent $600 and now I have 7 batteries. So there you go. I don't know if it's actually $600 or whatever, but it was like 600 bucks. Anyway, so I got my batteries. There you go. That's not the point. The point is the camera is limiting features that should be there. And now, so the next feature is something I honestly don't know if Canon can do, and I honestly hope they can do it because the Canon R5 had it and this camera doesn't. And what that is letting me use the manual function button to switch to video mode. Now, I know obviously we have the dedicated video switch up here, which is great for a lot of people, but as a wildlife photographer and videographer, when I'm having the camera up here and I have a bigger lens on, I have to take my hand off to use the video to photo switch. Whereas the R5 original version, I can just take photos and then quickly press manual function and I'm in video mode just like that, all with the same hand where the shutter is, where the record button is. So I don't know why Canon added the power button over here and didn't just leave the power button over here. Hopefully with these R6 Mark III or whatever comes out next, I hope they switch that. Put the on button over here because you only need to press that once. The video and photo switch, you know, you're pressing that a lot, and a lot of times it's easy to do everything with one hand on one side, so you can support the other hand on the lens. It's not the biggest deal breaker, but it definitely would be a huge game saver on the R5 Mark II for my ease of use. All right, and for the last thing, I'm gonna send you to last night when I was out doing some time lapses of the moonrise. Check out this little feature I'd like to see added on the R5 Mark II. All right, well, I'm out here with the R5 Mark II, and one of my favorite features in any camera, really, it's not just the Canon R5 Mark II, a lot of cameras have it now, is the built-in InterPrometer for doing time lapses. It has made my life so easy, it's so seamless doing time lapses and whatnot. But there's one thing I thought about that would be really cool to add to a firmware, and I literally just thought about it just now, is so on the back of the screen it tells you that it's taking unlimited photos. I don't like to set a number, I do like to leave it unlimited just in case something changes, like the northern lights end up getting better, so I'll just end up shooting even more photos. And oh, check this out, bald eagle flying over my head right here. So, you know, sometimes I like to just do unlimited photos. So on the back of the screen, it says that it's on a timer and it says it's set for unlimited. It'd be really cool if they added a firmware where it tells you that you're at 110 photos or something, because I like to get at least 125 photos for a time lapse. And, you know, when I'm doing this moonrise time lapse, I might not need much longer, or the moon might go out of frame. So I might end up realizing that I wasted a time lapse. So it'd be cool to know how many photos I was at. I know you could do the math, yes, but we're talking things that just make my life a little bit easier. And that was just something I thought about. Alrighty, well, that's all I have for this video. It's 5 things I'd like to see Canon address. They're nothing major, but it's just something that would make my life easier as a wildlife photographer and videographer who also shoots many other subjects as well. I'm wondering what you guys want to see in a future firmware update. Are there any glitches that you've run into with the R5 Mark II? Is there anything on the R5 Mark II that's preventing you from getting it? Tell me, maybe I missed something pretty vital. That's all I have. The next video I have is going to be my full 1-month review. Tomorrow will be 1 month that I have this camera. I'm going to start recording that this weekend, and we'll have a full 1-month review on the R5 Mark II, comparing it to the R5, seeing if it's worth the upgrade a month later. If you have the R5 Mark II and you want to go ahead and set up your camera the way I have it as a hybrid shooter, click this video right up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.